All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. I got another video for you. Per usual, I want to thank anybody who subscribes to my channel, watches any of my videos. I really appreciate it. I feel like I'm reaching the right people. You guys' comments are good. I welcome the engagement. And I don't ask you guys to agree with everything I have to say, but everything I'm saying is based on actual facts and stats. I'm not giving some wild opinion. I'm not Nick Wright. I'm not here to talk about a player's integrity or his honor. Sure, that there's obviously a legitimate case about that stuff. It does matter, no doubt about it. But I like to just stick with what I can actually, prove, compare. Comparing players is really what this channel is all about. And to do that, you really got to use what is in black and white, not something that might have happened. I mean, sure, there's things you can say, and I'm going to be talking about some of these in these videos, but really what actually happened is all we have to go by. You know what I mean? In this video here, what I'm going to talk about is all-time greats that were down in series and how some of them were able to come back and win those series. I did a video about blowing leads, some people more than others, losing 3 consecutive playoff games. I think I did a video on that, all that, but this one here is more of like a positive. So anyway, I always use the same 14 players, and I am working on my top 25 ranking, by the way. I actually went back and redid some of those, but I'll probably do like about a 5-part video series because I want to give good detailed reasons why each person deserved the ranking they got. But anyway, like I said, in this video we're doing comebacks, players that were down, how they did once they were down. Like, we'll start in reverse order. Steph Curry. Now again, I use the same 14 players because these are the ones that I hear people have in their top 10 the most. Now, do I have Steph Curry in my top 10? I do not. He's not. I wouldn't imagine he'd even be in like the top 12 or 14. I don't know. Again, I'm working on that right now. I'm getting down to where, getting down to the middle teen area right now. But Kevin Durant, no way. I mean, he's not even close to my top 10. No way. And then I got, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. Those are the 10 that most people will say. Now, Steph Curry was down in a series 12 times in his playoff career. Now, he didn't have as many playoff runs as some people. But of the 12, he came back to win 7 of them. That's actually really good. 58.33%. Now, here's where we get into that gray area. Steph Curry benefited from the other team's injuries more than any team that I've ever seen. I don't even see how that could be debated. I did a video on that, how he benefited big time. Now, can I prove they would have lost? Can I prove they would have lost if all the players are healthy? I can't. Nor can you prove that Curry would have won like in 2016 if Draymond Green didn't get suspended, or 2019 when Kevin Durant got injured and I think Klay Thompson missed 1 game, which somebody made the biggest argument about that. But anyway, I can't prove any of that stuff. Chris Paul in 2018 when Houston was up 3-2, I can't prove Houston would have won that series with a healthy Chris Paul. But it's something that at least needs to be considered. He was down 7 times. He came back from 3-2 to beat Houston in 2018. Like I said, definitely an injury there. And came back from 3-2 to beat Sacramento. That was just last year in 23. And of course, came back from 3-1 to beat Oklahoma City in 2016. A total of 7 times of 12 series. A total of 58.33% of the time came back to win the series he was down. You're going to find that to be really high percentage. Now, Kevin Durant, He was down in a series 16 times. He won those series, 6 of them. So obviously there was 10 series he lost. That's the balance there. For a percentage of 37.5%. That's not bad. He came back from just the notable ones. In 2012, they were down in the Western Conference Finals 2-0 to San Antonio. Came back to win that one 4-2. Again, he was part of Golden State in that 2018 when they were down 3-2. Also 2016, they were down 2-1 to San Antonio. I think they were like the 67-win team. Probably the biggest series win of his career, really, would have been against 2016 San Antonio. And they were healthy and ready to go. Okay, LeBron James. LeBron James is an interesting one. He was down in a series. Get this. He was down in a series 27 times of his 54 series that he played. So that's basically half. But he came back to win 14 of them. So that's pretty good. For a percentage of 51.8. Now, so far Curry was at 58.3. He's got the highest. But some of the notable ones were in 2007, down 0-2 to Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals. Down 3-2 to Boston in 2012. Eastern Conference Finals. Won that one. The 2013 NBA Finals, they were down 3-2, came back to win 4-3. And, of course, the big one, 2016 Golden State Warriors comeback. Now, out of 37 series, LeBron James was down at some point in 27 of them. That's a series to be down. Now, we did come back to win 14 of them. Most of them were, to the inferior teams, but some of them weren't. So he did a really good job of coming back to win series. He did, but there was still 14 series that he did not win. I mean, he's been in the playoff 13. I'm sorry, been in the playoffs 17 times, won 4 championships. So 13 series he lost, and that's going to be by far the most on this list. So the next player, take a look at, is Tim Duncan. Now Tim Duncan was down. He was down 20 times in a playoff series and only came back to win 7, 35%. I mean, that's okay, I guess. He played 48 series. That's a lot. He was down almost half of them. The notable ones he came back was down 0-2 to New Orleans in 08. Came back to win that one 4-3. The rest of them were all 1-0s. Dallas in 2014, they were down 2-1. Dallas was the 8 seed. So Duncan doesn't really have much as far as comebacks, but that's fine, whatever. Kobe Bryant, you can argue he shouldn't be that down like that in the first place. Kobe Bryant was down in 18 of his 43 series that he played. He came back to win 8 of them for a percentage of 44.44. Pretty good. His notable one was down 3-2 to Sacramento in the Western Conference Finals in 2002. Came back to win that. Down 0-2 to the Spurs in 2004 Western Conference Finals. Came back to win that. And then, of course, in the 2010 Finals against Boston, down 3-2. Won the game 6 and 7 at home. So, pretty good there. Shaq, out of his 44 series played, he was down in 20 of them. Almost half, which I thought that was a lot. He only came back to win 7. The notable one was down the same, just like Kobe, the 0-2 Western Conference Finals and the 0-4 against Sacramento, down 3-2, and the 0-4 San Antonio semifinals, down 0-2, came back to win that, and the 0-6 finals against Dallas. They were down 0-2, came back to win that one 4-2. So that's pretty good. Now, Michael Jordan played 37 series in his career. He was down 11, so that's less than a third. I think that's about the best on this whole list as far as just never being down in a series. And of the 11, he came back 4 times. That's a 36.36. Slightly ahead of Duncan. Not as good as Kobe or Curry or LeBron. But again, he just wasn't down as many. And he was down to like Boston in 86, 87. But I'm not making excuses for him. His notable comeback really was 93 against New York. He was down 0-2. Came back to win that one. And also in the finals, he was down to the Lakers in 91 and down to Utah in 98. Two of those they were down 0-1, came back to win 4-1 and 4-2. So Jordan didn't have a lot of comebacks because he wasn't down that much. Earlier in his career, he was. All right, the next player on the list is Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, Olajuwon was down a lot because he was the lower seed most of the time, no doubt about it. He played 29 series. He was down in 18 of them. Came back and win 5 of them, but these were notable ones. I mean, a lot of times he's the 6, 7, and 8 seed, playing like the Lakers. He played the Lakers a lot, or like Seattle Supersonics when they were a really good team in the mid-90s, stuff like that. But his notable ones were in 94, he was down 0-2 to Phoenix, came back to win 4-3. Down in the finals, 3-2 to New York, came back to win that one 4-3. Down 3-1 to Phoenix in 95, came back to win that one. That was probably the most impressive. But anyway, he only has a 27.77 percentage, kind of low. Larry Bird was down in 12 of his 33 series, a little bit more than a third. He only came back in 3 of them. He was down, but he had a couple big ones. Philly down 3-1 in 81 Eastern Conference Finals, came back to win 4-3. Against the Lakers in the 84 Finals, down 2-1, came back to win 4-3. Against Atlanta in 88 Eastern Conference Semifinals, down 3-2, came back 4-3. But of the 12 series he was down, he only came back to win 3. That to me was, okay. I mean, kind of low compared to the other players. Magic was down 12 times as well, came back to win 4 series. That's for a third of the time of his 39 played. The notable ones were the 88 Utah Western Conference Finals. They were down 2-1, came back to win 4-3. And the 88 Finals, they were down 3-2 against Detroit, came back to win 4-3. Kareem, he played 47 series, was down in 18 of them, came back to win 6 for a third. Kareem, notable ones were, again, the 88 Western Conference Final to Utah and the 88 Finals to Detroit, came back to win those. He was on the same team as Magic. The rest of his were just 1-0 comebacks, which is really no big deal. Oscar Robertson, he played 17 playoff series. That's it. That's all that guy ever played. He was down in 11 of them. Came back to win only 2. One of them was the 63 Eastern Conference semifinal, or Eastern Division semifinals, they called it that back then, against Syracuse, down 2-1, won 3-2, and then the 72 Golden State, they were down 1-0, and he came back to win 4-1. That's it for Oscar, so pretty unremarkable there. Wilt Chamberlain, he played 29 series, he was down in 17 of them, came back to win 6 of them. So, it's about in line with everybody else. His notable comebacks were down 2-1 against St. Louis in 64 in the West Finals. He won that one 4-3. Down 0-2 to the San Francisco Warriors in 69, came back to win 4-2. Down 3-1 to Phoenix in the Western Conference semifinals, came back to win that one 4-3. That was pretty good. The rest of them were 1-0s and whatnot. But 6 out of 17 is all he was able to win there, and whatever. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these teams he was down to were better teams, whatever. Now, Bill Russell, this one here is just remarkable. Of his 29 series played, 10 of them he was down in. That's slightly more than a third. He won 8 of the 10 series he was down. 8 of them for an 80% clip, dwarfing everybody else on this list. I know he had a superior team, blah, 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 but still, you're coming back. You were down. Bill Russell comebacks included the 1957 Finals. They were down 2-1, came back to win 4-3. The 62 Finals, down 2-1, came back to win 4-3. 63 East Finals against Cincinnati, down 2-1, won 4-3. The 66 Semifinals, down 2-1, won 3-2. The 66 Finals, down 1-0, won 4-3. No big deal there, really. 68 Eastern Semifinals, and this is when Boston was nowhere near the best team. I mean, they just weren't in the late 60s. Still, though, 68 against Detroit in the semifinals. They're down 2-1. They win 4-2, win 3 straight. The 68 Eastern Conference Finals, down 3-1, come back to win 4-3, and that was Wilt Chamberlain. 69 Lakers, again, Wilt Chamberlain had a 2-0 lead and a 3-2 lead in that series in the 69 Finals. Wilt's Lakers, and Boston came back to win 4-3. I still think it's the second best run next to the 94 Rockets of all time, beating 8 top 75 players as the 4 seed, down 0-2 to the Lakers, and coming back to win that with an inferior team. That's why, to me, Russell is right up there as the most valuable player to ever play in the NBA, second only to Jordan as an overall resume and as a player. But anyways, you can see Bill Russell was down in 10 series, and a lot of these was down 2-1, 3-1, 2-0. I mean, he was down in 10 series, but had the fortitude and rallied the troops to win 8 of them. I mean, that's why Russell is so high up on my list. I don't care about the points per game. I don't care about the field goal percentage. I don't care about the teammates. Most of those guys were never going to sniff the Hall of Fame without Bill Russell. So anyway, that's it for this video. I didn't beat up LeBron James for once. All right, that's it.